Oh my goodness. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Please. Oh, so good to see my boys. Dude, what are you doing to my truck?
We're doing a little pre-trip truck repair. We're replacing the connector for the blower motor. We already replaced the resistor connector. So we're just taking care of this because it's a little crispy. So I brought my tools home, so we're just getting this thing swapped out before we head out.
Well, I've learned how to do a lot of things with my truck. I don't know how to do any of the wiring.
We did brakes
so.
a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah?
I bothered you.
It's true.
I yelled at you when you couldn't hold the flashlight correctly.
That's exactly what I needed. Dude, are you just so excited?
For Blade Show, yeah, dude, I'm so excited.
Why are you saying it like that?
Cause I'm not. I get made fun of for my knife that hasn't been sharpened in about 3 years.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Jens Enzo. I'm here with GiantMouse, and what I'd like to show you today is our new titanium Rio. So the Rio has been out for a while, and my favorite version up until today has been the Denon Micarta Rio. This is a liner lock, and it just a super sweet size knife. But now we just came out with the Rio in titanium and as a frame lock. And I don't know if you can zoom in on the texture here. This is just a super sweet knife. Feels so nice in hand. It's nice and soft, but it has some traction to it. Really, really excited about this. And the second one I'd like to show you today is the Bleecker. Also a frame lock. We have that in 2 versions with carbon fiber handle on one and titanium on the other. And if you look in here, we have a brass spacer on the carbon fiber just to give it a little contrast, and titanium here on the titanium frame lock here. So those are the 2 that I'm really excited about showing. The Bleecker is relatively new, and we just came out with the Rio in titanium.
Alright, my name's Jonathan McNeese. We're with McNeese Knives. We're here at Blade Show Utah, Blade Show West. We're first year here. We're really enjoying it, meeting some great people. So I've been making knives since 2008. Started making handmade knives, fixed blades, then moved into folders. Did that for several years, and then we switched over to. I started hiring people and doing more of a small shop production type stuff, and that's what we've been doing. We're growing it out now. We're very, very strict as far as keeping everything American made. We're very big on any OEM work we have done or anything is all done in American shops, like our water jet and stuff. Very big on the American made things. So we're still growing, trying to get bigger, trying to get better, and mostly making folders. We've got a line of fixed blades started. We're going to have more of those coming out over the next year. So yeah, we'd love if you check our stuff out.
So Ben, at NAFS.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you, Frankie?
So good to see you, man.
Likewise. We lived across the street from each other.
We were neighbors for 2 or 3 years.
This is true.
And then I became a knife guy after we moved on opposite ends of the state from each other.
Which is amazing.
So perfect
But
timing.
I love the fact that now you're a knife guy.
I am.
Because that's what I do.
Yes.
So NAFS is all about pocket knives. So this is a Lander 2. This is one of our new ones that came out earlier this year, but it's been very popular. It's got a micarta handle. We call this our moon dust finish. And then it's an S35 VN steel. A lot of micarta happening right now. We just released this one. This is the large Lulu. So this is my year of the fixed blade. So this one's made in the U.S. It's very expensive, $260, $265 actually.
Well, I would say expensive for NAFs because you
for
guys
sure.
really focus on
Yeah.
very practical, affordable.
Yes,
And
budget.
I think a lot of people think budget and affordable and
Yeah.
think, oh, cheap.
Yeah,
That's not true here.
that's not how we roll.
No. Affordable, practical, solid materials.
So like this one, for instance, the Lander 1, this one's got Space Kitty scales on it because we Space Kitty. That's how we do. But this will retail for, with the scales on it, you're looking at about $55, $60. D2 steel. And for me, it's like I wanted to make a knife and a company that was affordable. And we're kind of pushing limits on that. We're kind of pushing to the upper limits of affordable, but we're also playing with items that are sort of pushing down on the lower end as well.
And you're casting a wide net. You want to
Yeah.
get more knives in more people's hands and more pockets.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And I think coming from the gun world, I think it's a really valuable thing you're adding here. You're getting more of a really useful tool to more people, more consumers, people who will use this. And as someone who is a gun guy, I've used my knife infinitely more times than I've ever had to use my gun. Oh, shoot.
And we're back.
So I think coming from the gun community, being pretty deep in it, I think what you're doing, trying to get more of your tool in more people's hands, is really extremely valuable.
Well, and we don't just try to get it in people's hands. Like this knife right here has swappable scales. So you
Yes.
remove 4 scales. Grab a set of scales behind you. These scales are open source. And so you can 3D print your own. You can make your own. You can do whatever you want with them in a way that I think is really fun because people are reverse engineering these scales anyway. And so we just release the file and say, rock and roll, have fun with it. And to me, that's part of the fun of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of some of the stuff we're doing this year. We just released this guy on Kickstarter. It's a pen with a toothpick and tweezers, kind of sort of your Swiss Army style. And it runs on it's like a $100 pen with a 13-cent Bic crystal insert. Because why not, right?
Because why not?
So I'm kind of in this phase where it's like, let's design things that might be on the higher end, they might be on the lower end, but like, I'm always designing things that I'm like, this could work for these 3 reasons.
Here's what that tells me. You really know the everyday carry community.
I try to.
Because the everyday carry community is going to be carrying pens. They also like practicality.
Yeah.
They also like fidget. And I have your Lander. I carry it all the time. I fidget with that thing nonstop.
Thank you.
It's nothing it doesn't have to be, but you get a little extra.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
And I love it. So,
I love it. Dude,
it's so good to see you, man.
Frankie, thank you, my
I'm
friend.
so glad to see you.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Anthony over here at Glow Rhino at Blade West. Our 3 new items we have at the show is our large tritium slab. It's a pry bar as well as a bottle opener with 3 tritium vials in it. Let me show you real quick. Bam! There you go. As well as our baby. It is a mini pry bar with also a large tritium vial inside there. And then our new release folding knife, aluminum scales, Tonto blade coated, and it is, oh yeah, Magna Cut, as well as your blue tritium vial in the back here, so you drop it at night, you can find it. Well, thanks for stopping by, guys. Come check us out at booth 114.
So Liang,
Hi, thank you for coming to my table. I'm Liang Ma. I'm a knife designer for my brand and for other brands as well. I am a former chef and pastry chef in New York City, and now I live in Florida and usually take care of my fruit trees.
you couldn't get enough of the humidity, huh?
Yeah, the thing is, it's terrible to come here where it's a desert. I know, I'm getting like nosebleeds.
It's the elevation.
It is, well, and how dry it is for sure. But tell us what do you got here at Blade Show 2024?
So I brought out a few of my new models, like the Cuff 3.5.
You know how I feel about that thing.
With like Magna Cut and titanium monoblock and also carbon fiber monoblock. This is the first Magna Cut knife in my lineup. We also have the Tonto ones in different configurations, from hand rub blade, stonewash blades to the satin polish. These also have configuration of carbon fiber and titanium. And then titanium with inlaid of carbon fiber or fat carbons. And we also have a few models of the Eutectic line.
Well, I want to talk. Let's talk about Eutectic because you're doing a great job with making more affordable knives to get in more people's hands.
I appreciate that. So, after about 20 years of making really high-end knives, right? I realized most people don't even cut anything with it. Like usually it's like a sheet of paper, and they're like, "Ooh, look how sharp this is," and I'm like, "Yeah, no kidding."
You want to make a tool?
Yeah. I wanted more of my designs in pockets for people who can actually use them and not feel bad that, you know, they cut a piece of meat with it, they cut some fruit with it, you know.
You know, I think it's funny because I'm coming from the gun world, and I've carried a knife my entire life. Even in New York, where I probably shouldn't have, I carried a knife.
I did that every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Because I realized this tool is so important. Now, what you sent me, the Trinity and the Everyday Field Duty, and I carry this Everyday Field Duty all the time. That thing has some use, some serious use. But I think you're in a good mix of the worlds where you have the everyday carry guys who have the pocket art, who have the high-end knives, who want to show off what they're doing in their own groups, right? Then you have guys like us who, I need a knife because I need a knife.
Right.
I don't need a knife necessarily because I want to show it off. I do like to look at it. I needed a good job because I like to look at these things as much as I like to use them.
And I try to make it as functional as possible. While having some aesthetics for, like, you know, people like to fidget with their knives.
Oh, I'm doing it all day at work.
You know, they're like sitting at their desk, they're fidgeting, or even if they're grabbing something, they might want to. I have friends, and I never do this. They're in their vehicles, they're driving, and they're like flicking the whole time they're driving.
Let's be very clear. Liang Ma is not condoning playing with your knife while you're driving.
And then when my friends do that, when they're the passenger and I'm driving, I'm like, please stop that.
Yeah, don't point
please,
it out.
please
slow
stop
down.
that.
Let's relax.
Because that makes me feel like if I have to do a hard break, that knife is flying into my chest or something, you know?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, so that's one of my phobias, you know what I mean?
Remind me, how long have you been making knives, like just making knives?
So I started out with custom collaborations.
Okay.
That was about 10 years.
So designing for a while.
But designing since I was like a kid.
Okay.
But then I read books so I can do it better.
So you're a nerd.
I'm a total nerd.
Oh my god.
I'm a total nerd, dude. That's why I even have the glasses, okay?
Those aren't even prescription. Those are for show. It's a costume.
It's just for the look.
He's pretending. He's just trying to look like a nerd.
So, like, I love to find out information, and then, like, over the years, a lot of makers have shared information with me. And, you know, at first, now my drawings work, and then I started doing CAD to make my drawings work because where you put in the pivot, the stop pin, the rotation angles, those are important for makers.
Yeah.
And once I got that down, then I was able to give a drawing to a maker, and they're like, hey, your drawings are good.
Yeah.
You know, and then now I 3D extrude everything, so it's a three-dimensional drawing of the whole knife.
Which, I mean, we were just talking to a gentleman over at one of these other tables, and he's like, oh man, making knives 20 years ago versus making knives now, the quality is much higher with a much lower price.
Yeah.
Like if you could have sold this for way higher, you would have to get your money back.
Right, because this was, I mean, just to hollow out the titanium.
Right.
That's horrible. You know, it would be a lot of time. Right?
Right.
And you could barely see the seam on this.
Okay, when I was looking at that earlier, I was like, wait, is this one freaking block? And you could, like you mentioned, it's like a hair.
Yeah.
It's so thin.
I don't even know if the camera can pick it up.
Yeah, I doubt it.
You could probably pick up better when it's the carbon fiber.
Yeah, that one's going to be a little easier for the contrast, but it's so pressed so well together. The fitment is amazing.
Yeah, and there's only like 2 screws on the outside.
Yeah.
What's this? So that's one of the things, like, my vision for Liang Ma design has always been to bring like high-end quality knives at an affordable price.
Yeah.
Okay? And for Eutectic, it is to be able to have a knife in everybody's pocket.
Smart.
And that was
I think that should be everybody's goal.
Yeah. And the thing is, I tell people, you know, if you take care of my knives, you could pass this to the next generation,
Yeah.
and it'll still function.
Yeah.
It'll still work perfectly.
Right.
Because we put so much care and thought into making sure everything works well.
I noticed that, and you gave me one of the Eutectics, which is not your higher end.
No.
But when I picked this thing up, super freaking nice guy, puts a handwritten letter in there, like, hey, you know, so grateful that you want to take photos of my knives, you want to talk about my knives, and I'm like, no one's ever done that. Super nice touch. So the care was there, and then I started messing with the knife. And like I told you, I carry that thing all the time. So utilitarian, solid, affordable. I'd say you hit all the marks that you were trying to. And this is coming from a guy who's a gun guy, mostly, who just so happens to be a little bit of a knife guy, who's being, you know, kind of falling into that more. And I love that thing. This thing goes to range days. I've not abused it, but I've used it like a tool.
That's the best way.
And it's still holding up just fine.
I tell people that all the time. I mean, I have customers that come back to me. They bought a knife like 6 years ago, and they're like, "Hey, I lost the screw taking this apart." Sure, I'll send you a screw.
Yeah. Because you weren't abusing it. You were trying to maintain it in
it's lifetime guaranteed. As long as they like they're not prying open something.
Trying to get open a manhole cover with one of your knives. Yeah.
It's not meant for that.
No. But
yeah. Well,
Leon, you're a gentleman.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, dude. And I love your design. Check him out. Go to his store. Buy some knives. Whatever your price range, he's got you covered. These at Blade Show, $60.
Yes.
But on the website, 80.
85.
$85.
Yeah.
$85 on the website. You make it a Blade Show, you get them for 60. And they're already a good deal. You are the man. You are the.
It's a cute little purse you got.
Dude, stop. My tampons are in here.